Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's time for some more India. I actually get to say that now. I'm Revolts Gilvin, and we're continuing. Man, I'm not too shocked that our currency is struggling to maintain its value. Our standard of living has just gotten so high. So our currency will struggle to maintain its value basically as a function of... Four little messes. Oh, nice. Basically as a function of our trade balance to some extent. Thank God. Two setbacks, I was worried that was going to fail. I mean, the ideal here would be trying to improve our GDP per capita a bit. Like, apparently even the Beiyang government has a higher GDP per capita than me. I don't know how in the flying fuck you've managed that. I think the answer is all of the pops that weren't super productive starved to death. Yeah, fair enough. That would do it. Alright. And we got lots of electrical industries getting built, or electrics industries, either or. As we kind of approach Tier 5 production, we'll kind of have some, bumps to help us along. Synthetic rubber, for example. I might just add that now. Alright. Suffrage institutions increasing. Yeah, you guys are just done. You've pushed through at this point. We have a lot of vanguardists though. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not actually all that worried. But it is shocking just how much power they've managed to amass. Dancing on wheels. Some more loyalists is always nice. Alright. Revolutionary Socialist in government, -20. Yeah, even the Revolutionary Socialists are in the government. We are, unfortunately, weirdly at the mercy of whatever the heck pops out of you guys, though. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, everyone's just pretty neutral towards ethno-state. As I kind of talked about before, because of how... Well, yeah. I'm trying to debate if I actually want to go, like, ethno-state or cosmopolitan. I feel like I am going to have enough people, you know? Maybe not, though. I guess that's the trick, right? My pop growth is actually flat. Completely flat. It's tough. Alright. So now I get to ask the real questions. Yeah, not a fucking chance, by the way. 6 lube, which definitely don't have, and 5 electricity. That's certainly not happening. Anywhere, probably. Also, at this point I'm going to assume that in general, I no longer need to subsidize railways. I think that's kind of a given here. Let's increase our trade. Alright. So, East Bengal got any coal? I don't know. Definitely need more resources still. I think it's going to be a thing that haunts me for all eternity. the need for resources. Alright. There we are. We're back on unitary. Which, yeah, that doesn't shock me that destroyed that. Never mind. Reduced to level 1. Alright. Yeah, we need ideally a better minister for anything. Like, fucking Christ. Health system would be great. Oh well. Standard living is plus 2.9. Fair enough. It's really tight batch of standard of living between like 25 and 27. Smoking cabaret. That place has it all. I am debating if I should maybe switch to something like consumption taxes as an idea. How useless. Alright. Because concepts such as a consumption-based taxation isn't actually that bad at this point. With the private sector having taken over so much, and our standard of living seemingly getting higher. You know? Even our trade unions don't necessarily want the progressive tax. I'm not really sure I want it either. You know? Yeah. We can keep going on minting, in theory alone, more or less, as our central bank continues to increase in size with the economy. But it may limit me a little bit. I only lose 1.7 million, though. And theoretically can just then raise consumption taxes. It also reduces my, bureaucracy population cost. Which, I don't know. What is it right now? Minus 10 base. Minus 112. Unfortunately, there's no way to see, I think, what my current modifier is without, going to the gigantic modifiers list. Oof. Yeah. We need to hopefully try and get... well, I got antitoxins. That's a good start. But, yeah, penicillin. Access for pharmaceuticals, but still helps a little bit. Yeah, every little bit helps. 13 months, I get my first little mandate, which, I don't know. I haven't even figured out what I need to take yet. Alright. Out of curiosity. Oh my god, why are you liked now? Because you've become a masterful diplomat. Ugh. The zoo. Alright. There we are, good. Okay, so yeah, our currency is kind of going up, but it's still maintaining a roughly minus 25% parity to the world currencies. Which isn't a shock due to my standard of living. God, I kind of just want to skip all these and just straight rush them. You know what? It's 3 years. Well, at least we're getting plastics. So I remove that. Frick, to finish in 9 years, yeah. There's just so much to get. It's tough. But no, I shouldn't be wasteful of my research. I am seriously considering the prospect of going over the infamy limit, though. Like, I don't know. I would have done it by now if it wasn't for the fact that I saw squad infantry in the last war I fought, you know? Whereas in that moment I went, the great powers are farther ahead than I could ever hope to be. I thought I was being cheeky, and I was like, alright, I've mostly caught up to them. We should be able to match. Oh, shit, no. Yeah. We're trying our best, but we are still definitely behind. And it's troublesome because I also have the objective of trying to unite the remaining Indian provinces here. As well as, you know, try and expand over to here to get oil. Neither of which are particularly easy to do. Alright. Election time. Yeah, I've kind of just let them continue to run away. They're gonna get so much of the boat now. God, more wildfires. Alright. Labor Board institution. Yeah, we could try and push things like the right to rest. Yeah. That's good. More standard of living without consumption is excellent. You go nuts. Sometimes people die from the smash. It happens. No. Keep them under control. Alright. 4.2 or 42 million rather. Good. Antitoxins. Will that help at all? God, I hope so. In general, it's just going to be such a struggle. Nope. Oh, Lord. It is such a struggle. Oil turbine, ethylene. We need so many tier 5 techs. But once we get those tier 5 techs, we kind of enter into a bit more of a better era for us. Alright. I think I might just go with the whole Council Republic thing. It locks us in inevitably to communism, more or less, but it should be fine. It should be. Yeah, there's Britain doing its thing. Yeah. Persia's pushed back a little bit. Woof. Alright. Yep, sure. Okay. So, you have liberal progressive due to what? Yeah, movement pressure. The anarchist movement, the communist movement, okay. Decline. I'm also thinking about maybe hopping onto protectionism. I actually ideally mercantilism, if I could somehow swing that. That would allow me to actually impose some tariffs on the exports, or also, yeah, on the imports and exports of certain products. At this point, I do kind of want to try and pull back on the amount of manufacturer stock being exported, but I'm not sure it's going to be that big of a deal. Should be fine. I don't know. I'm hesitant to go Council Republic. I really am. And the reason is because I do lose that, like, political rigidity. But it's probably fine. The Steam Omnibus. Sure. Why not? I no longer really feel any threat from, the right-wing parties. Yeah, you can see where we dropped the suffrage institution. It's not really needed. We're going to go down to 54 here, which is fine. By all means. Okay. Yeah, a lot of power plants like getting constructed in Punjab. Good. I kind of just hope power plants getting constructed everywhere as needed. But if Punjab's a little slow in particular... Yeah, because I would like to do things like automatic power looms, if possible. Oh shit. Okay, we've gotten to high enough wages where even the steel mill is apparently ready for the rotary valve engine. About damn time. I guess honestly, I don't care. Use it. Use the rotary valve engine, damn it. We already have 202 of those. You guys have to have electricity to be built, so makes sense. We need to try and automate. It's gonna hurt like hell to do, though. Alright. So yeah, we can just kind of move over to cooperative ownership, which I'm not too worried about. Yeah. That in theory gives laborers, machinists, and engineers investment pool contribution. But that's fine. Then we can kind of probably go into collectivized agriculture. This does give us a pile of society research speed. So there's probably a win here. A pretty big win. Or is it no? You just give us society research speed. Okay. Yeah. There's a reason I appointed you. That's fair. That would make sense. The alloys plants. Good. Alloying plants are very, very good if we can get the electric arc process on them. Yeah. You might as well go to the bolt action and breech loaders. Wow, you guys can even go under rotary valve? Goddamn. Good shit. Yeah. Need to try and get the best that we can. For, like, all of these industries if possible. We can do cabled wire now. That'll help. We don't need electric components yet. Cinema is terrible. We will not switch over to cinema for quite a while. Automatic bottle blowers, you know it. Theoretically, I can now start doing quartz glass, but I won't. Yeah. The motor industries are the ones that just will never be good. We're getting there, but we still have, after the electric arc process, 3 more techs before we can make the jump to compression ignition. Hopefully it should really only be 2, as we will get another tech spread after plastics is done. And then, hopefully, we can really start to kick things into gear. You know? Or at least that's the hope. Our standard of living is continuing to climb. I think that's probably a decent chunk from right to rest. Yeah. Yeah, plus 4.1's not bad. Especially since we still have another 0.5 coming in from penicillin. Let's organize sports. I don't know what forced industrialization does, but somehow I doubt it's any good. You know? Yeah, God. Regional administration is not great. Oh well. At least we can enact things really quickly. That is nice. A lot of conversion. Glad to see it. Alright. So ironically, the anti-socialist laws will fail. Then there's the anti-fascist laws. No. That's a single-party state. Nope. Nope. Huh. Fascist infiltration. No. This should hopefully never occur at this point. Oh, good. Finally get our first mandate. I have to go all the way to level 3 for the economy of scale building cap. 10% company throughput bonus is pretty good. This would just be 25% more education spread right off the bat, which is also pretty good. This would potentially help us catch up a fair bit. I can't deny that, you know? But also, God, companies is so good. You know? Especially if I get rid of this random ass Banco Nacional de Panama. Oh, and we now have syndicalism. Alright. I guess that just kind of goes with it. Understandable. So, let's see. Alright, we are a council republic. Shockingly, I'm not required to have syndicalism. Forced vanguardist leaders. Interesting. Yeah, strongly endorse cosmopolitan. Executive. All unions allowed. Alright. Very well. Yeah, so we have a chairman. Okay, syndicalist republic. So I guess I'm questioning how we have appointed on advice. Ceremonial delegate. Either way, let's cooperate the economy. It is done. Through the power of the trade unions, through the threat of general strike as a result of a sweeping revolution, syndicalists have prevailed in blank. Syndicalist ideology will become legitimized worldwide. Ah, yes. Comrades, come rally, for this is the time and place. The Internationale unites the human race. Yeah, that would probably happen. Okay. Unfortunately, I need to form a new company here, and I have no idea which one to go with. The electric company... I don't know. Electric Supply Corporation. Vow? No. Unfortunately, I have no choice but to, like, grab a save. Which takes some time. Oof. And actually try and form the companies. Like, if I establish you, can I get you something else as well that's good? Coal mines and oil rigs. So, not really. Well, the coal mines aren't bad, I guess. Okay. That's not what I was hoping for. I'm going to be honest. It's tough. You know, I kind of actually wonder, if we end up with a liberal progressive at the end, is that going to affect, or in the near future, because of trade unions apparently being influenced by the communists to have them? What do you guys actually care about some things? Okay, no. They don't actually care about democracy at all. Interestingly. Alright. I was wondering if that was going to be a path out or anything. Okay. So in that case, let's have a look at the Combined Indian Electric Company, which, if I'm lucky, no. I was hoping would have electric power plants and stuff as an option. So no, that unfortunately also kind of sucks. Alright, in that case, like, the Indian Steel Syndicate makes kind of the most sense. You know, that are premium motor, which is, like, honestly, given that's one of my largest exports at this point, it makes the most sense. It really is tough, though. Yeah, I think I'll go with motors. Alright. Let's do that. Let's go with motor company. Tech company. No wish. Because this already has 2 good ones, and I wouldn't be shocked if I can get a 3rd good one. This also has 2 good ones, makes it a solid pick. Industry rights. Yeah, iron mines and rubber plantations. Meh. Yeah, let's get you guys working there. Yeah, welcome. Don't care. The crisis of social democracy. Oh god, what have I started? The first spark of socialist revolutions arrived in India. Workers all around the world are celebrating in the streets, though not all socialists are entirely happy. Some say the situation is not yet ripe, while others condemn the authoritarian practices of the revolutionary government. Excuse me? I am not. I am, in fact, a very social democracy. Debates fight into pre-existing disputes into life or death struggle. If the reformists and revolutionists had any possibility of working together before, they certainly do not now. Ah, yes. So, we won peacefully, and thus the revolutionaries refused to work with us. Very good. Understandable. Have a nice day. Workers of the world unite. Wait, not peacefully. No, we're supposed to kill the bourgeois. Not simply demote them into workers. Oh. But yeah, we are not a particular revolutionary state. But yeah. We'll see. We got still, like, all the collectivization to run through. And I know at the end of the day, especially as we keep progressing, I know the trade unionists, or I guess now the syndicalists, hey, are you guys... No, you still nothing. 3% anarchist now, though. Reviving the specter. The radicals of the social democrat movement have begun to call themselves communists. Their moderate cousins, meanwhile, abandon all revolutionary rhetoric while retaining a whole label of social democracy. The specter never left. I can't. Yeah. No, that's fine. I mean... We won. We didn't have to fight anyone, you vanguardist bastard. I'm sorry I was too effective for you. To be fair, if anything, I owe thanks to the anarchists for getting us this far. They really lit a fire under my ass and forced me to raise the standard of living enough to give the lower classes a voice. shown on film, rising. Yeah, we need the electrics output. Alright. Oswald Barassi. Okay. So plastic's about to roll through. Publishing industries will get a little bit better with offset printing. 35 months to research. It's now under 3 years. Decline. Alright. Art Silk is spreading, so we'll cancel that. Good. Alright, 5 years out now, supposedly. It'll be less, but, you know, we're getting there. Almost through tier 4. God. What do I pick? Alright, so how do you guys work now as companies? So we got an HQ around here. Because presumably no longer are you employing... Oh, you still are employing large numbers of capitalists. Oh yeah, wait, I haven't actually finished passing cooperative ownership. Well, that's fine. Private ownership is actually very worker efficient. Like, this is going to start employing an extra 700,000 people when it's all over. Yoicks. Well, that certainly won't cause any problems with my currency value, I'm sure. Suddenly a little more hesitant. That is a pretty major downside, but I guess it's only a downside if I care about my actual GDP and GDP per capita, which I don't. Well, I care about it in aggregate with everything else, but in theory it should be bought off by a relative increase in the standard of living everywhere. Although I've got to congratulate my capitalists here on achieving a standard of living of opulence. My God. 60,000 people consume 4.5K fine art a week. Yeah. So anyway, this is going to refactor our economy. I think all the art academies we built are about to shut the fuck down and die. Steak fridge molding while entertaining. Yeah, we just are not ready for plastics. It will be a while. The alloy furnace, though, in particular. Yeah. Anywhere they can, at least, should try and use the electric process. That actually got us enough alloys, so that's great. On that note, I think I'm going to accept I'm keeping these and actually start incorporating them. You know? Alright. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like it can really pull anyone else with the syndicalists. I do wonder if demilitarization... Like, I might actually go for it. It will only do, at most, 5 years of penalties. But what I'm kind of hoping is that it will help produce my infamy, you know? Unfortunately, you know, I don't have the ability to read them, so... It might. It might just. The French have declared a rival. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Sealing strategies. Yeah. We are almost there to compression ignition. And the mid-game revolution. We're like, you know, 20 years behind where I would be if I was a European power, but hey. Protectionism is at least possible. No one really wants colonial affairs. Understandable. And let's collectivize the agriculture next. There's shockingly no big red warning text like there is in vanilla. Because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to inform me that, hey, this is gonna fucking suck. Oh wow, it's quite nice. Oh no, we get the society research speed there. We have an expert. So hear me out. You're fired. Or do I have... Yeah, I was going to say, point you there. And I don't know. I don't know what happened to our expert, unfortunately. Damn. It happens. But yeah, so we're just going to roll through collectivization. We're facing economic instability. Well, that's slightly concerning. It's not too shocking, but I need to have a look at that. The current account, by the way, it's holding. Financial crash. Yeah, that would do it. The stock market plunged 50%. That will happen. That will happen. It's the stock exchange. Yeah. Ugh. Oh. God, that's hurting bad. Yeah. There is no longer, as far as I can tell, really any buyers in our market for stocks. I assume because the stock exchange is dead in the water, which... I think we're okay though. We lost a lot of GDP, but it shouldn't be enough to trigger the second crisis. I should probably not be passing collectivized agriculture right now. This could be a bad idea. No, I've gotta. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. At least I hope we are. But yeah, with no consumption of financial products in the stock exchange, that is gonna kind of suck. Like, well, at least we're not rich enough yet for that to matter too much. I hope, anyway. It should be fine. I'm hoping that trade in general can kind of make good on this, yeah. Alright, that works. So yeah, if I roll back onto protectionism, I can maybe even pass conceptually a consumption-based taxation system. Manufacturer stock. It's fortunately 1,000 authority to tax friggin' financial products. But like, whatever. The investment pool is still climbing, so that's the good news. Yeah, so many of our people just moved into the fucking, like, worker co-ops. Why do my shopkeepers support the syndicalists? Strong labor movement. Agitator popularity. Syndicalist movement. Okay. Interesting. Oh shit, so there are these little inner factions. Or take over. Oh. Huh. I never knew that's how that worked. Eh. We shall see. I'd like to implement workers' protections and stuff as well, but we'll see. I want to relax for a bit because we are currently in the middle of a friggin' like terrible economic shock apparently. Like modern productions from mass culture would be very helpful. I need more services, man. Alright. But it should probably be fine. God, I hope so anyway. Apparently our cabinet synergy is garbage. I only have trade unionists in here. Fucking leftist infighting. Oh. I might also need to appoint a premier. That might help. Yes. Right. Fair enough. I did not have a head of government. In my defense, we should probably just unify the executive. You know? But everyone seems to hate that idea. Alright. Yeah, wow, and our currency's fucking plummeted too, which isn't a huge shock. Yeah, financial products across the world. Using so much infrastructure. Things like steel and coal are struggling as well. It's transitioning to a communist economy is not exactly easy. We're getting there, though. And I'm hoping that we can actually survive this transition. Alright. We're at voting now. But yeah, our currency's collapsed a little bit. We gotta hold on and not take on a second point of economic instability. We've had a financial crash, but we cannot afford to take on a currency crisis, an economic crisis, central bank bankruptcy, or country bankruptcy. Economic crisis if our GDP falls too much. We actually pretty narrowly avoided that. The currency crisis, I am deeply concerned with. Well, only over 1 year's minus 38%. It's not the end of the world yet. We need to have it drop 50. If things continue, I might just aggressively deflate the currency, but I think we're okay. On that note, am I allowed to go to fiat now? I don't want to, but yeah, apparently not. Very well. All right. We got offset printing now. And away we go. Should only be about, 30 months to research there right now. So I'm hopeful that we're actually only about 20 to 25 months out from compression ignition at this point. You know, since I'll be able to bail on electric railways part way through once Art Silk's actually done. I'll kind of make that as my stop-off point to allow electric railways time to spread. Alright, let's hope this doesn't destroy us. We'll see where that lands us and what damage it does. Yeah. So yeah, a large amount of this has now just been collectivized. Which isn't too bad. And it looks like the currency is stable. Shockingly. We've succeeded in a transition, I think. We're not out of the woods yet, but see if we can demilitarize for an infamy reduction. I think that's what it does. Honestly, I don't remember. I'll find out. Thank you everyone for watching, though. I've been here for the Gillen. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.